Bible said be angry and sin not. That means you can be angry for sure, but don't sin in your anger. And unchecked anger is dangerous to your marriage. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Family Life with Hope. I'm so glad you are here with me today. You know, life can be messy, and sometimes, even in the most loving relationships, anger can rear its head. No doubt about this. It's a natural human emotion, but when it's not managed well, especially within the sacred bond of marriage, it can cause real damage. Today, we are going to talk about something incredibly important: anger management in marriage. This is not about never feeling angry, that's impossible. It's about learning healthy ways to respond, communicate, and ultimately protect the beautiful connection you share with your spouse. We're going to check on this topic to understand exactly what anger is in marriage. One, acknowledge the universality. Let's be honest. Who hasn't felt angry at their spouse at some point? It's a normal part of life, and marriage, with all its beautiful complexities, often brings out our rawest emotions. You are not alone in this. Anger is often a secondary emotion. It's like a signal that something deeper is going on. Underneath the anger, we might find hurt, fear, frustration, disappointment, feeling misunderstood, or even exhaustion. Think of it like a smoke detector. That's anger. The alarm goes off, but it's telling you there might be a fire. That's the real issue somewhere else. We need to find the fire, not just silence the alarm. So anger acts like the alarm, and the real issue is the fire that is burning somewhere, that the alarm is pointing out to you that there is fire somewhere. So you need to find out the real cause of the fire and be able to silence the alarm. That is what how to handle anger. Why is it so detrimental in marriage? That's anger. One, it erodes trust. When anger explodes, especially repeatedly, it chips away at the trust and safety your spouse feels with you. They might start walking on eggshells. The trust is no more there. This is why anger is bad. It has a very negative impact in marriage, and you have to watch at it. It shut down communication. It's really hard to have a productive conversation. Let's be real here. When one or both partners are angry, you will not have a meaningful conversation. Instead, defensiveness kicks in and nothing gets resolved. And why is it so? Because anger has set in and is not being checked. It creates distance. Over time, unresolved anger builds walls. It pushes you apart instead of drawing you closer. Then it impacts on the children. If you have kids, they are like sponges. They absorb the atmosphere in the home. Everything negative, positive, all manner of things that happens around you in your home, within your spouse. The children absorb this. And consistent anger can create an anxious or fearful environment for the children. More reason why couples should be careful how they manage their anger in their marriage, in their family, with their children. Let's look at biblical perspective on anger. And I have a question to ask. Is anger a sin? This is a common question, and the Bible gives us a nuanced answer. It's not the feeling of anger. itself that is always the problem. But what we do with it matters a lot. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26 to 27. In your anger, do not sin. That's what the Bible says. Say, do not let sun go down while you are still angry, and do not give the devil a foothold. This verse is so powerful because it acknowledges that anger will happen. For sure, it will happen in your anger. Then it immediately gives you a crucial boundary. So there will be anger, something that will get you angry. At the same time, you have to set that boundary not to sin. So righteous anger exists. Anger at injustice. But explosive, hurtful, uncontrolled anger is sinful because it violates love. So in your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry. This is practical wisdom for marriage. It's about not letting resentment fester. It's about working towards resolution, even if it's just agreeing to revisit a difficult conversation before the day ends. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry. And do not give the devil a foothold. This is where many couples get it wrong. Unresolved anger, resentment, and bitterness create an opening for spiritual attack and negativity to take root in your marriage. When you do not resolve your anger on time, when you give that space for that anger to brood and resentment begin to come in, then bitterness now coming, you are opening a door for spiritual attack in your marriage, in your home, and the outcome is never a good experience. It's like leaving the back door unlocked for trouble to walk in. So you don't have to leave any door open. You don't have to leave any window open. You have to see to it that you close it. This instruction is there. Say, do not give the devil a chance. Do not give the devil a foothold, something to hold on to attack your marriage. Is very important. Proverbs 15 verse 1 says, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Your communication should be key. The way you respond, even when you are angry, is important. Even your response that is getting your partner angry, you should watch it. The word of God say, let your words be gracious. So before you respond, even though that will get you angry, is your words, are they gracious? Are they seasoned with salt? Or you just allow the devil to cash in on your words to get your partner angry? And when your partner could not check his anger or her anger, then the whole earth is let loose. We should not give the devil a chance. James chapter 1, verse 19 to 20 says, my dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. You have to listen, be a good listener, and have patience with one another. Don't just be quick to speak, but rather be quick to listen. Listen attentively. Try to understand what your partner is saying. Don't always sit on the top roof to just catch it up and begin to blast everywhere. No, listen. Be patient with your partner. Let love rule over all. Then be slow to speak. Don't just be talking anyhow, using anyhow words that get your partner angry. Because human anger produces not only negative. It doesn't produce the righteousness that God desires. We look at practical strategies for anger management in marriage. So far, we need to understand what anger is and why it's so damaging. And we've got that solid biblical foundation that anger, the angry and sin not. And anger do not produce righteousness like God requires. Now, let's get into the how to manage this anger. These are practical, actionable steps you can start implementing today. One, recognize your triggers and warning signs. Yes, for you to be able to manage your anger very well, one of the practical steps is to recognize your triggers. We know what is trigger and your warning sign. Before the explosion, there are usually warning signs. Do you feel your heart racing? You know, some people when they get angry, even before they begin to show it, their body will begin to shake. Their heart begin to pant. What are your triggers? When you're having discussion and those signs begin to surface, how do you take note of them? Clenching your jaws, you see them, going all the way, biting so many things, and they are uncomfortable immediately. Do you get quiet or start pacing? Learn your body's signals. It will help to checkmate your anger, to manage your anger. What are your common triggers with your spouse? Is it finances, house chores, parenting disagreement? Identify these patterns. If finance issues are not well properly discussed and concrete agreement reached, then you see that whenever issue of finance comes up in marriage between couples, the other person will begin to respond. The mood will change, the tone will change, everything will begin to go south. Have you identified those issues? Bring them to the table, discuss them. Because when you manage this and have agreement, next time you're having discussion on finance issues or even house chores, the anger will not come. So you have to pay attention to your body signals that triggers you to anger. Talk to your spouse about your triggers. When you are calm, that's the best time you can discuss this. It's not an excuse for being angry, though. It's not an excuse for you to get angry, even unnecessarily, if I may put it here. But it's helpful for both of you to understand. Two, take a time out. I call this the pause button. When you're in that heat of argument or your words, you both are getting high, if I should use that word, the best approach is to pause. Press that pause button. This is perhaps the most crucial tool that you can adopt. Yes, when you feel that anger is rising, agree with your spouse in advance on a time out, signal or phrase. This time out, you will not have this agreement the time that you're already angry. That happy moment, the time that you both are okay, that nobody is angry, bring up these issues and discuss them. In case we are having argument, we are angry on a particular topic, we are not coming to a reasonable conclusion, what should we do? And then bring up that one of the things that should help us is we have to pause and we have to take a time out and have a meaningful conversation after both of you have calmed down. See, something like, I need a time or I need a minute. Let's pause this conversation. So you have to grow yourself and discipline yourself to have that discipline to even know how to communicate it and not always to be responding with that same anger that is already going high. Take a time out. Now, there should be some ground rules for the time out. And not just taking a time out, but there are some rules that should guide your time out though. It's not an escape, it's a reset. You are committing to revisit the conversation when calmer, when you are already calm, when both of you have calmed down. Agree on a time limit. Because when you put a time frame to it, it will help you to be concise and focus on the topic and be able to have a meaningful discussion and agreement. Say 15 minutes, an hour after dinner, or let's resume this at 7 p.m. You know what? We are not having a good agreement on this matter. Can we come back to this in 15 minutes time, or can we just come back to this an hour? Can we just spend so minutes on this? Have that matured discussion and agreement on how you can manage and sort out that issue. There is no problem that do not have solution. It depends on the level of maturity you have agreed to apply in your relationship. Go to separate spaces. This is another way in your time out. We're talking about uh, rules for time out. Physically resolve yourself from the situation. Go for a walk, listen to music, pray, or take a deep breath. Yes, sometimes in some situation when you're angry, the best bet is to just pause, just separate at that moment. When I mean separate, not to just go live separately. No, you can decide to go out, go and take a walk, pick up your music to listen. Try to calm yourself down. Go to God and pray. Sometimes when you are looking at it and trying to use your own strength, your own wisdom and energy to express and explain yourself, it may not produce good result. But when you go back to God and pray and ask for wisdom, He will give you the good direction on how you will approach the same matter that you couldn't handle before. And you see, your minister speaks to both you and to your partner. So it's important to identify how best you can handle this by going to separate places to calm yourself down. Now, during the time out, focus on calming down. Don't ruminate and fuel the anger. Don't nurture the anger the more. No, distract yourself. Pray for peace or think about the underlying issue from a calmer perspective. When something happened, you both are angry. Now, you taking a time out, you pressing the person button. One of the things you should do during that time of pausing is to focus on calming yourself down. Don't ruminate and fuel the anger. No, you will not get any good results. Three, learn to communicate effectively, even when you're upset. It's important not to apportion blame. You can make good use of I statement. Instead of pointing finger, especially when anger is there, when you're pointing finger, you're fueling this situation. Instead, try to explain your frustration, how you feel, and try to make your spouse to understand that you are saying this from your own perspective, how you feel, how frustrated you are. This shift the focus from blame to expressing your feelings. So, as much as you're angry, communicate positively. Even though you are angry, don't blame, don't apportion blame. Your focus should be to solve the problem and then try to explain yourself how frustrated you feel and what is it that you were expecting from that conversation is very, very important. Active listening is key. Before you respond, truly listening to what your spouse is saying. The problem is we don't listen to each other. Couples try to, everybody is ranting, talking, getting angry. The key point is being neglected, and then anger ensues. Before you respond, truly listen to what your spouse is saying. Don't interrupt. Try to understand their perspective, even if you don't agree. Yeah, you may not agree on every opinion, but it's important you try to listen. Give your spouse a listening ear. Try to see things from their own perspective. It's important. Then pick your battles. Not every disagreement needs to be a fight. That is another place couples get it wrong. Not every disagreement needs to be a fight. Ask yourself, is this truly important? Or can I let it go? It's not everything that you try to claim your right, try to take upper hand. No, there should be some benefit of doubt. Try to look at this matter. Do I need to pick quarrel on this? Sometimes the things that we pick quarrel or couples pick quarrel are not even necessary. But if you check that thing and try to flip the card and have a different approach to it, you tend to get a better result and positive response. So try to pick your battles wisely. It's not every argument that you must win. It's not every argument that you pick a fight. Very important. Then have a soft startups. When you need to bring up a difficult topic, some topics in marriage between couples can be difficult. And in your head, you're trying like, how do I introduce this? What should I do? Try to look at it very well. Look at it. How best to start this? The best way to start it is bring it up. Look at it in a soft manner. Your approach it gently. Hey, I've been feeling a little overwhelmed lately. You are bringing up your matter. You're bringing up the topic to discuss with your partner. Could we talk about trust later? It could be that one of the past, what is the problem is the house chores. One person has been um being the one handling the whole house chores and becoming overwhelmed and it's becoming a burden. Then anger is coming in. Yes, it can happen. It could be finance, it could be anything, it could be parenting. Now, how do you bring up this matter to discuss? And you don't know how your spouse will respond to that problem. Bring it up. Your approach should be gentle. Now, hey, I've been feeling a little overwhelmed lately. Could we talk about it just later? It's much more effective than you never help around here. All you know is to do to your phone. All you know is about yourself. You don't care about the children. You don't know. Before you know it, self-defense will come in. So the person you're talking to will have reason why he or she is not doing what you're expecting him to do. So try to know how best to bring up this topic to discuss them and always bring it in a way that how you feel about it and what you think is the best approach to solve that problem. 4. Practice empathy and forgiveness. Empathy. Try to put yourself in your spouse's shoe. Yes. If you know that when you are being pinched, it will pain you. Don't pinch another person and don't do something that will get to that person. This is number one golden rule to follow. What might they be feeling or going through? You have to take for your partner. Yes, this can soften your heart because try to put your spouse in your own shoe. If you're the one wearing that shoe, how will you feel? There's one adage that say, "He that wears the shoe knows where he's pinching." Okay, so try to feel for them. Then you'll be able to adjust your own behavior. Forgiveness, holding on to anger and resentment poisons your spirit and your marriage. Yes, forgiveness is not condoning the behavior, it's releasing yourself from the burden of bitterness. Is a daily choice. And you see, in marriage, uh, marriage is two couples, two people that has come together and agreed to forgive each other daily on the divine mandate that God has given to them. So don't hold on to anger because something happened, you're angry today, you keep it. The next one, you keep it. The next one, you keep it. You are poisoning your mind, your spirit. It will get to the point that when you see your spouse, you don't care, you don't mind, and the explosion will be massive. And when that happens, you have sinned in your anger. Remember the word of God say, be angry and sin not. So one of the things that will help you not to sin in your anger is to forgive. Do not hold on to resentment and anger. Okay. Seek support when needed. Couples counseling is important. There is no shame in seeking professional help. A good counselor can provide tools and facilitate healthy communication in ways you might not be able to do on your own. So it's important to seek for good counseling. Trusted friends and good mentors is important. Sometimes talking to a wise friend or good mentor can offer valuable perspective, but be careful not to badmouth your spouse. Speak well, even though you're angry. Focus on the issue, don't attack the person. And remember, there is power in spoken word. When your mouth is full of bad words, negativity against your spouse, know it that you're also speaking the same words to yourself. So speak well. Even though you are angry, focus on the issue. 6. Prioritize self-care. It's harder to manage anger when you are stressed, exhausted, or malnourished. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating well, exercising, and having personal time for spiritual and mental refreshment. As we wrap up today, I want to leave you with a challenge, something tangible you can do this week. I call it the anger inventory challenge. This week, I challenge you and your spouse to calmly discuss your anger triggers and warning signs. Don't blame or accuse. Just share your observations and about yourselves. Then, as a couple, agree on a clear time out signal that you both commit to use when things get heated. Practice it. Remember that verse. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry. Commit to work towards resolution, even if it's just agreeing to take a break and resume later before the end of the day. And finally, pray together for God's wisdom and guidance in managing anger in your marriage. Ask Him to help you cultivate patience, understanding, and spirit of grace. Anger management in marriage is not a one time fix. We have to know this. It's an ongoing journey of growth, patience, and love. It's about choosing peace, understanding, and connection over explosive reactions. Your marriage is worth fighting for, and learning to manage anger effectively is one of the most powerful ways to strengthen that beautiful bond together. Remember, with God's help and intentional effort, you can transform anger into an opportunity for deeper understanding and a more peaceful home. If this video resonates with you, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Family Life with Hope for more content on building stronger families, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comment section below this video. What strategies have worked for you in managing your anger in your marriage? Let's build a supportive community here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, keep cultivating hope, keep nurturing your family, and keep building that beautiful family together. God bless you.